You're listening to Ka-Pow, the pop culture podcast. Comics, television, movies, and more. If it impacts fan culture, we have something to say about it. And now, your hosts, Jordan, Cliff, and Seth.
Hey everybody, welcome back. 'Tis the season. Holidays are approaching. We're in a jolly mood.
Yeah, we're in a good mood.
My name is Jordan Lowe.
Cliff Barnes.
I'm Seth. I'm in a great mood.
Like a well-oiled machine.
But yeah, it's like I said, we're a little bit before Thanksgiving as we record this, and we assumed TV would slow down by now, but it really hasn't. Like,
it's picked up.
Pop culture, and like there's been so much stuff to keep track of. So
get it in before we die.
Yeah, if we've
watch
been,
it all.
If we've been behind it all on your favorite thing, we apologize. If we haven't even covered your favorite thing, let us know what your favorite thing is. We want to hear. And
maybe it should be our favorite.
Yeah,
thing.
We might be missing the best thing. We don't know.
Yeah. Oh, so let's just get into it.
Okay, skip all that junk.
Let's do some TV.
What in the good Lord is going on?
Nothing. Them just some fellas I play car pranks with.
The worst thing about prison was the Dementors. Nobody exists on purpose. Nobody belongs anywhere. Everybody's gonna die.
There are no strings on me.
So if you want to make more money and keep the money that you make, better call Saul.
He looks like a panda and a Disney princess had a baby.
Somebody royally forked up. Somebody forked up.
Randall! Okay, stay in the room!
First I thought you and the others were gods. Then I realized you're just men. And I know men.
You guys, look at my dirty girl.
Roll on snare drum. Curtain. Good joke.
What was that?
Just a little update there.
A new drop.
Whoa! How about that? Keeping it fresh here at KPP.
Supplies.
Yeah.
Shout out to Cliff there, who, if you don't know, Cliff does all of our audio editing and sound effects and sound mixing, sound design, sound, anything you hear is courtesy of Mr. Cliff Barnes.
I actually have a super high voice. But he fixes it for me every week.
And he wanted a little fresh audio out there.
That's right.
And then not to, I wasn't going to tell him that one time I listened to that and like mark down how many of those shows weren't on the air anymore. Because I didn't want to tell him he needed to update it.
Yeah.
But that he came to it himself.
Yeah.
Was so good.
I am terrible at this, by the way. When you send us a message, say, try this out. Tell me what's wrong. I'm just like, I don't want to say. And, it's just like, I know, but
I'm just looking for feedback.
It's like what you're asking. Like, I know, but it's just like something. I have this mental. I'm like, I don't really want to be like, here's what I would do, this or that, But we do. We get through it.
All this time, I've never even told him that audio clip was from Fargo the movie, not Fargo the TV show.
See, I didn't know that. That's why I asked. I said, "Tell me what give me."
That's how much I respect his creative process. That he does it, and I don't complain about it. Speaking of no complaints, Peak TV is in season, and Watchmen has been rolling along. We've got 2 more episodes since we've covered that.
Yeah,
I have no complaints about it.
No, good stuff.
It's been great.
Sunday night HBO premium television. We've had episodes 4 and episode 5 of the first season here.
I want to point out an article I found that seems so crazy that I had to bring it up. But someone submitted a request of the creators, and it got back to Damon Lindelof, and they were asking, this alternate timeline with Robert Redford as president. So these movies weren't made, or what happened? And like, They had actually thought that out, and there was a response that they got. His final film as an actor was Out of Africa. Following the tragedy of 11/2, he ran against Nixon in 88, and he lost. He thought of quitting politics, but he got back into it in 92. But not only did they list the movies, they listed movies. He got out. He had gave a speech or whatever and said that there was movies he thought he would have liked to have been in.
So he never made Sneakers?
I don't know. I haven't read all this.
No, that's a tragedy.
I'll let you know. But he's there's movies he would have liked to have been in, but air quotes, and who ended up being in them. They've thought this far out. So like Legal Eagles had Bill Murray, and he got a Golden Globe nomination. I was like, I love that they did this.
Yes.
Okay. I'll skip through. River Runs Through It. Got a Best Picture nomination. Indecent Proposal, he was replaced by Michael Douglas.
Okay.
Let's see.
If you had told me Michael Douglas was in that, I probably would have believed you.
Yeah.
Yeah. That just sounds right.
Right. Oh, yeah, absolutely. The Horse Whisperer, Scott Glenn replaced him. Yeah, it launched the career. It was directed by George T. Miller and launched the career of Scarlett Johansson. Who there's ridiculous stuff. The Last Castle, Peter Fonda. Yeah, which is basically Robert Redford. The Clearing starred Russell Crowe instead of him. Unfinished Life had Sam Shepard. Lions for Lambs, James Earl Jones. The Company You Keep, Dustin Hoffman. It doesn't say anything about Sneakers. Was that might have been? He might have got that
92. It was probably
92 is when he ran for president. So it might have slipped in before that.
Every reality needs sneakers to exist.
Right. Oh yeah. I'm glad that they figured that out. Old Man, the Gun, John Cazale. Okay, so wait, somebody said, what about Sneakers? It says, I heard there's a script floating around that President Redford was interested in at one point. Sneakers was never made. I can't believe they answered this. As hacking never became a pop culture thing in the 90s.
Oh, wow.
Due to the absence of computers and internet. This is the greatest thing I've ever read.
Take that, Peteypedia.
One might assume that it might become a thing in years to come as the internet rolls out. Wow. Oh, did he ever consider asking his friend and frequent co-star Paul Newman to join the ticket as VP? Little Butch and Sundance. That would be ridiculous to have two actors on the ticket. Come on now. It's crazy. These are good questions. John Grisham is retiring from the Supreme Court soon. Care to comment? They love the Pelican deposition.
Wow.
Okay, anyway, I'll let you go. But I just thought this was... was the mysterious figure known as Lube Man really Robert Redford in disguise? No comment. No comment.
We got to get to
end the article. That was great stuff.
We got to get to Lube
That's
Man.
what we're enjoying so much about this show. That it's crazy, wild plot line. We don't see what's coming next, but it also has that depth that's allowing you to dive into the world building and the pop culture surrounding it. So,
I love to know that they think about every little detail. That all that stuff sprinkled in there was on purpose.
So we are going to spoil some things. So we hope you're caught up with Watchmen.
Yeah.
Clark Acres Farms.
Yes. Sounds familiar, doesn't it?
Yeah. And Islands in the Stream.
I was like, they're ripping us off.
Yeah. This I didn't. Not that I expect anything in this show, but I was like, what? What's happening here? Who's Lady True? What? I don't understand any of this. So
she's something. That's a real person in our world. There was like some, and I believe in. I want to reach what culture?
She's Vietnamese.
Okay, and that culture. There is a real person that has to do with all the elephants and stuff. So, something I watched about it. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know enough to talk intelligently.
Well, in this world,
about that.
True Industries is an international conglomerate that has managed Adrian Veidt's estate.
You always say Veidt. I just want to know why.
Veidt.
All best wishes and encouragement. Adrian Veidt.
It's like you're an
As
authority.
I read it,
you're an authority on this.
I always read it as that, so I know,
Michael.
I've started hearing. Yeah. So I read it many years before I ever heard it. So that's the go-to for me. Veidt. Sorry, you are correct. Correct me when I do that wrong. Veidt Industries in 2017. So that's led some people to is she the jailer? Because they have taken over this $1 billion Veidt Industries, so she's another suspect. It could be her.
Yeah. So when she arrives on this farm and makes them an offer they can't refuse.
Yeah.
Suddenly something comes crashing down in the sky,
like Superman.
Yeah.
I mean, there was so much Superman stuff.
There was.
And this, they're the Clarks.
Yeah.
But
can we also maybe assume that was Adrian Veidt coming back?
It could possibly. There's definitely some time. Not everything is necessarily happening concurrently here.
And I wasn't 100% sure. She drops the hourglass down and says, we have 3 minutes to make this deal. Because I assume she knows that's about to happen.
Yeah, I think you're right.
So you don't know that going into it. You think she's just, business tactics or whatever.
Right.
But so, she knows exactly what's going to happen. That this deal has to get done right this second.
They're even like, they sell eggs or whatever, and it was all about them not being able to have a kid, and they catch that one egg before it rolls off the porch. I was like, gosh, you're laying it on thick. She has, she's created a baby, which definitely, like you said, thinking she's imprisoned him because there's all these clone babies up there in his stream.
And he's in a boat getting them out of like lobster traps.
Yeah, it's weird.
There's definitely no there has to be some sort of no value in life. Like if you could just create life willy-nilly, you throw the babies back in the water, you throw the dog if it doesn't match the other dogs just in the incinerator or whatever. It's just like there's no value.
They don't have souls or whatever. They're just clones. And Veidt explicitly says to one of the clones, "I'm your master, but not your maker." So we have to assume this is the true technology has improved on whatever he has done, and that's them creating all the clones.
Right.
And also, she has a daughter, Bian.
Yeah, I don't know.
This was the girl that went to the newspaper stand, right?
Yeah, we saw her earlier buying all the newspapers. Apparently, the word means secretive.
Okay.
It translates to the word secretive. And she's having dreams about Vietnam. So what that means, we don't know yet. Has she been slipping her these memory pills or whatever?
Yeah, somebody else's
these nostalgia pills.
Which is from the comics. Wasn't that perfume or something?
Yeah, it was the perfume, which we don't learn about that till the next episode, but it's kind of laying on that something's happening. And I have heard, I don't know, it makes sense to me, but then it also, from a structural standpoint, it doesn't. If we think back to the comics, if you remember the comedian's time in Vietnam, he impregnates a woman.
Yeah.
And then shoots her.
Right.
And she slashes him with a bottle. That's how he has the scar on his face. So people are thinking, is this lady True like the daughter that survived? Could she be Blake's illegitimate kid?
Totally could.
But thinking for an audience that you have to have read or know what that, like, for that to be a big, the last episode we learned that.
Yeah, like, that's not going to be the...
Who's the comedian? When was Vietnam? Like, what? You have to lay a lot of groundwork for that to be a big twist.
Yeah.
So I don't know. That's one of the theories floating around.
I would say that sounds really, really plausible, but probably not the big reveal or anything.
And we get confirmed that Veidt's been there for 4 years. That in the beginning he thought it was paradise, but now he calls it a prison. So we're just kind of defining a little more of what's going on. And we learned that when he launches the bodies in that trebuchet, they disappear. So they're going
somewhere.
There's some barrier that they are crossing and he is not.
Is he, which leads further down the road. Is he launching them up there so he can use them later? We don't know, but that would seem highly plausible.
Yeah, my initial thought was always taking measurements of how, what angle and whatever. But yeah, if he's 2 steps ahead of 2 steps ahead of us.
So what if he landed them? He's landing them perfectly, spelling that out. That's a good shot.
So yeah, that episode also introduced Lube Man.
Yeah, Lube Man's good. That's a good idea. He freaking oils himself up and slips down the drain. Like that.
I think it's KJ Apa in that suit. Greasing up and sliding into the bunker.
Sliding into the bunker, that's true. Who do we think it is? Let's work this out. Did anybody say? Has there been?
You want to know the internet theory?
I don't. Let me think for a minute because I don't know the internet theory.
I think I do know the internet.
We haven't introduced a whole lot of characters who aren't already in some kind of costume.
Is it senator or whatever it is?
Is it FBI agent Petey himself?
Oh, that's Petey. That
be,
sounds right. He's got the right build.
They would send him to kind of spy on Lori.
Yeah,
and he's a skinny little fella.
He is skinny.
Yeah.
And he loves superheroes.
Yeah. Slippery.
He's a slippery little guy. That's pretty good.
That was really, I mean, if there's a moment in this series so far that really stood out to me, and I was just like, what did I just see? That was it.
It's like, whoever thought of that?
That is genius.
They transcended the whole show. They are a meme lord now.
So then, episode 5, Little Fear of Lightning, we see the squid attack.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
We're there. It's in New Jersey, but the psychic reverberations were felt all throughout. So yeah, I love that character, Tim Blake Nelson's character.
Yes.
Looking Glass.
Mr. Noodle's brother, Mr. Noodle.
Right, and he's in a hall of mirrors.
Mm-hmm.
How more perfect can he get? He's right.
Yeah, it was fantastic. It was fantastic, and his how he gets this major prank pulled on him.
Yeah,
he's trying to evangelize or whatever, and then gets taken in by this girl to the House of Mirrors, and she steals his clothes and takes him, and that he's lost all trust basically.
Yeah, so he was a person of faith.
Mm-hmm.
And then till this defining thing happened, and it shaped the whole rest of his life.
Right. And at that moment, that's when, while he's in the funhouse, that's when the squid attack happens.
Yeah.
That was pretty cool.
And we pull back and back and back and back, and you get a...
And the title's from... It's, what was it?
Little Fear of Lightning.
It's part of a quote from a book. 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea, which has a little squid in it also. I believe it's something to do with I can only guess.
Okay.
It's something to do with thunder, no thunder.
If there wasn't thunder, we'd have Little Fear.
Little Fear,
so,
exactly.
You have to have the loud noise to scare you.
Which you can currently watch on Disney Plus.
And then it all comes for full circle.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, we get more depth to his character and why he wears that mask.
Mm-hmm. That's a really good episode. Yeah,
it's this form of material, some kind of, whether it's true or not, it's being sold as all these security systems and things. Here's a way to keep psychic attacks out.
Reflecting.
He has a tinfoil hat.
He's lined his regular baseball cap.
I bet there are people out there with tinfoil inside their ball cap like that.
But yeah, he's never without it. Even when he's not wearing the mask, he's got that on.
Yeah,
he goes to he goes to meetings for other survivors, support group, right? So yeah, he's never gotten over this and all this time. So again, that makes sense. Like all these people are worried about this happening. It happened once; it could happen again. So it's world building.
He's got a bunker.
Oh man, he's got
Now wait a minute.
If Riverdale's taught us anything,
I think we need to take a step back and think about this. He's got Dilton Doyley's bunker.
Lube Man's going to be dropping in any moment now.
We learned that Steven Spielberg didn't make Schindler's List.
Yeah,
he made Pale Horse.
Yeah,
about about that incident.
I got a better question. Would he make Pale Horse and War Horse?
No. If Sneakers does not exist, War Horse does not exist.
Okay.
We learned Sister Night had the pills.
Nostalgia
from her grandpa.
Mm-hmm.
And so we learn in this episode what they are. They're called Nostalgia. And if you go to hbo.com/PDpedia, they have a drug ad for Nostalgia. Or it looks like, consult your doctor. See what, if Nostalgia is right for you. And it's, I'll quote it, Nostalgia by True is a revolutionary, all-natural, personally customized medication for people suffering from anxiety, dementia, and psychic trauma. Nostalgia turned memories of your choice into easily digestible tablets that allow you to experience those memories in the most lucid way possible. Live your best day every day. So
this episode of Ka-Pow, the Pop Culture Podcast,
brought to you by Nostalgia.
So it's made for people who are losing their memories or have trauma as a way. But I'm sure you can abuse it in certain ways. And there were warnings on there, don't take it if you're pregnant or
I sure as hell wouldn't chug the whole bottle.
And it says never take anyone else's memories.
Yeah.
And never take more, multiple at a time. So she's breaking the rules.
Yeah, she does
she's
all
breaking
that.
all the fine
And
print. Yeah.
She just swallows it without any water. That was very impressive.
It's one of her superpowers.
Yeah.
I liked when he well, okay, first off, we get the one girl draws in Looking Glass.
Picks him up in a bar.
Yeah.
Leaves a perfect head of lettuce to follow.
That's right. Yeah.
It's
been, I forget a lot of it. That's why I'm waiting for you to remind me of things
that
happened.
As she's driving away from the bar.
Because they're trying to find the 7th Cavalry and where they're
the church
headquarters.
is in the video.
Yeah, they wanted to know. They were thinking,
find the church, we'll find the cavalry.
Right. Save a cheerleader. We thought when we realized it's just a set. They've just created a set.
Yeah.
So he goes in the door and finds, I was not expecting, some kind of portal technology.
Yeah.
That's from that lithium stuff that Manhattan, that technology from the comics that everybody thought caused cancer.
Yeah.
That's what they're using.
So that's I would not expect these zealots to be working on technology. So I was thrown immediately, and then the senator shows up, and we learn he is the one in charge of the 7th Cavalry, and
which wasn't the biggest surprise in the world.
No.
We knew he was.
I was kind of like, why though? Why does he feel the need to come and announce himself?
I think he's trying to recruit.
Oh, okay.
Looking Glass or something. Here's a sympathetic. He's
you're crazy
being positioned as the Rorschach character,
right.
The distrustful loner, Herm eating beans from the can, that guy. So Keene admits he's been leading the 7th Cavalry, and between with them and Judd with the police, they were keeping, after this massacre, the two of them were kind of keeping peace between the two groups.
Oh, okay.
So again, I don't know. Is he saving, further bloodshed, or is he manipulating it all? Obviously we don't know. And then the other big thing we see, Adrian makes it. he
makes it to the moon.
Yeah.
He goes to the moon. And
Not the moon.
A moon.
A moon somewhere.
It's not the moon?
It seems to be like Jupiter or somewhere.
Okay.
Yeah, it seems to be.
Okay, which has something to do with Dr. Manhattan, right? Well, or no, Jupiter. There's Jupiter. What was the one girl? Was
Sally
Jupiter. Yeah, okay, that's it. But he spells out "save me," and then something that starts with D.
Yeah, I was like, what does that mean? And the review, like AV Club review, is then he wrote "save me," and we're gonna. I was like, the D. That's important. There's a D.
Yeah.
So, what do you think? Dr. Manhattan?
Save me, Doctor.
Yep.
Save me, Dan.
Save me, Doc. Dave, yeah, that's the Night Owl, right?
Yeah.
Save me, Dan. I like that better. I would enjoy it more if it said "Save me, Dan," and I want to see that play out. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's one of those probably.
So yeah, there we are.
I do like at the end when
down.
he goes to throw away. He had ordered a rush shipping on his tinfoil hat system, and he gets it and he's like, okay, well, I know it's all garbage now. He has found out that the squid was a setup, that there really isn't a problem anymore, that wasn't real.
Which again, I don't quite get why he would admit, even years later, like the peace of our world depends on people believing this. Why, even to just the president, why he would say that, but
Looking Glass,
we've already established he's 2 steps ahead of me. So
right, but Looking Glass knows this now, and so he throws the alarm in the garbage. Like I don't need it. I don't need it. But then he grabs it, and it's just like realizing, his whole life is based around that.
Yeah,
he can't easily let it go. That's his reality, whether he knows it's not right or not.
But it looks like he's not much longer for this world anyway, so immediately the 7th Cavalry shows up and heads into his house after him.
And on a cliffhanger, so.
Yeah.
But he's got a bunker. I mean, get to the bunker.
That's true.
Get to the bunker.
He's got an extra bed he stares at.
A couple more
cans
things.
Of beans down there.
A couple more things from Peteypedia we learned this week. That Dan and Lori, Night Owl and Silk Spectre, were arrested in April of 1995 after stopping Timothy McVeigh from bombing the Oklahoma City building.
Ooh.
So that didn't happen in this reality, and they killed him. They killed McVeigh they stopped him in the act, and were captured at that point. They weren't a couple at that point. They had been separate. And so she
was going around. They were still going around in costume though, right? Because she was going around as the comedian.
Yeah, she was the comedian.
Yeah.
And he owned Merlin Corp, which was weapon design and designing the airships and selling them to law enforcement.
So you look this up, Cliff? Because I like my Peteypedia like I like my Walking Dead. Read to me by Jordan.
I just give you the highlights, the important stuff. And a couple of the Easter eggs I picked out from these two. Episode 4, Lady True's Vivarium. The dome-shaped thing with all the plant. That's much like Veidt had in Antarctica in the comics. They mention a thermodynamic miracle, which Dr. Manhattan talks about. An event so small and so fast, it's hardly, you don't know if it happened at all. The start of episode 5... We saw the magazine stand. We saw the Veidt method that looked like the what was the bodybuilder Charles Atlas, kind of thing.
Kick Santa's face.
Right. The gang at the beginning, the Knot Tops. Those were kind of the street toughs from the original comic. They had all the top knots. And the quote, "I leave it entirely in your hands," which is almost what the guy says at the very end from the New Frontiersman, where the guy picks Rorschach's journal out of things like, "Get something from the crank file. I leave it entirely in your hands." So somebody else quoted that.
It's a great show. I don't want it to end. It's good. I love watching it every week for sure. So, how many episodes are there supposed to be? This is supposed to be
9.
One season. I'm not saying they won't renew it, but it was supposed to be a contained story, so there shouldn't be like a cliffhanger.
So yeah, they'll either come back and do a totally different story, like from a different era or a different thing, or they may not come back. We don't know.
Yeah,
but I kind of hope they do.
Yeah, I totally agree. But I always think, like, I mean, I know these guys are freaking geniuses to create something like this anyway, but I would think, in my head, Damon Lindelof has been working on this for 10 years. Like, I don't know how you could turn around and do a second season next year. You know,
well, it's like Westworld, you know. They worked on it forever and to every minute little detail. And then it blew up and it was like, okay, what do you got next? And they're like,
Yeah, I don't know how I don't understand how you can come out with something equivalent. What else from TV? What have we been seeing? Cliff, caught up on your This Is Us?
Yeah, actually I am. My wife made a point that we needed to watch a couple episodes.
Needed to stop the Disney Plus for a minute.
That was kind of the situation.
I thought of that when I watched it. I was like, I wonder if the Barnes have shut their Disney Plus off to watch This Is Us.
Yeah.
So I thought it was about the only thing that could stop it.
Yeah, we watched it not nearly as much as we normally do. It's been a lot of Disney Plus every night. But yeah, I did. I got caught up on especially that last episode, the Thanksgiving episode. I thought was really excellent. And this show, like you said, you watch it with the idea that you're going to make fun of the women at work.
Well, okay. I think of it. That's originally why I watched it. But it always ends up being good. Not always. There are some. Yeah, but I think the second to last episode was really not great. But
there's some gems in there.
There really is. Yeah. And there's so many. You know, Sterling K. Brown's great.
Oh yeah.
And again, my biggest draw is I love the time traveling stuff.
Yeah, the different eras.
So that allows them to pull off so many twists that you're not expecting. Like the end of this last episode, I was like, "Wow, I was not
did not expect
for that." I was getting ready to make fun of why this didn't make any sense, and then boom, they described it. I mean, they explained it.
Yeah,
I was.
Yeah, so
I like that.
And I got into it much the same way. It was just a show. It was getting a bunch of hype. My wife wanted to watch it, and I was just like, okay, whatever. And I was like, oh, this show's pretty good. And then this show stayed pretty good for the most part. And it just kept building and building. Then you get invested in some of these characters, you know.
Yeah. Now I'm just like wanting to have parties where we make a bunch of corn sandwiches and watch This Is Us.
Right. I get to wear the Pilgrim Rick hat, though.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
So,
Rick and Morty started.
New Rick and Morty, season 4.
4, yes. Been 2 episodes as of this moment. I am caught up, and it's good. It's a good show.
It's
nothing, no groundbreaking stuff yet, but still good.
I think people were a little worried after last season that it kind of broke some rules. Oh, how are they ever going to go back? Well, it doesn't matter.
They do whatever they want. Yeah. There's only supposed to be 5 episodes in this little run, so we've got a couple of them. It is very much more of the same, but still good.
Well, speaking of Adult Swim, they premiered a show called Primal.
Okay.
Which I had not even heard of till there were ads in a bunch of DC comics for it. It's Genndy Tartakovsky, the guy who did Dexter's Laboratory, Samurai Jack, and Clone Wars. It's his new show, and it's more adult than those. It is a caveman and his pet or sidekick Tyrannosaurus Rex. So I caught the first episode. I haven't really seen any since then. I'm not even sure what night it's on or what time. So the next one I saw was like episode 4, so I have not been keeping up on it, but I watched the first one, and the whole half hour there was no dialogue spoken. He's a caveman with a spear, and there's just this like music, and then the things get tense, and there's a dinosaur attack, and it's him jumping off cliffs and stabbing dinosaurs. Like it was 2D animation, that kind of Clone Wars style, a little bit exaggerated.
Yeah.
But it was super stylish and just it looked amazing. There wasn't a whole lot of story to it, like I said, but it was pretty good.
I was gonna say something about Survivor, this current season's Survivor. I think it's got to be I'm not even sure what, maybe season 39 possibly, somewhere in that. They do 2 a year.
That's still a lot.
Yeah,
that's a lot. And still they have interesting things happening. Something happened this season and it kind of sucked the fun out of it there for a little bit, but it was something I felt like people needed to see, and it was very interesting to see. Like, some people don't pay a lot of attention or don't like all this Me Too stuff that's happening, and something happened this season where there is a guy on there that is pretty doesn't respect other people's space. He is that 40-something who just constantly touching the other women, or just very in their space. And one girl was like, had complained to him multiple times, first off, to stop it, and he just can't stop himself. And what was super interesting about it was it played out like as stereotypically as it could.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It was so amazing to watch. This is happening. They showed a lot of clips of him doing this stuff to make it clear to people that it was happening. They're talking, he's picking at her hair, or he's sitting somewhere and one of the other girls, he's playing with her toes. And these are like young girls and he's older, and it's nighttime and he's cuddling up to him, which they do a lot for heat and it's fine, but he just is already creepy, so it looks worse. But then it shows her complaining to the producers, and they're like, okay, we don't want you to go through this. Is there something we should do about it? So she's complaining to some of the other girls. Well, we'd already seen footage of him doing this to the other girls. So they're talking to her and they say, yes, we have this problem also. But then you also remember they're playing a game for $1 million, and some of these girls don't care that he's doing it to them, so they use this against her. Just as you could imagine in an office setting or whatever. And they're like, I don't have a problem. I don't think that anything of it when he does that they turn around on her. It was pretty incredible. And then it goes to that next step where there is a guy that is in the tribe that is just now finding out about it. And he says, if this was a big deal, I would have heard about it by now.
Yeah.
Oh, and so another guy, which was great. This guy I'm just so happy he was there. He said, just because you don't know about it doesn't mean that it isn't a real thing. And you feel entitled because you're a guy that you should have known about it. And isn't it obvious she wouldn't trust a guy? It was fantastic. I don't know that they handled it all real well, but they let a lot of these people talk and expose this real thing happening. And it wasn't a super fun episode or whatever. But it was, I think a lot of people got to see how that stuff plays out. So it was super interesting. Still a good show.
The tribe has spoken.
Yes.
And you are canceled.
Yes, exactly.
There's a show I wanted to get to before we got too much further away from it. It ended a couple weeks ago. The Terror Infamy. The second season of the show on AMC. If you remember, the first season was the British naval vessel that got stuck in the ice. So season 2, completely different writers, different producers, different showrunner. It just They just kept the name, the Terror, and had a whole different thing. So this was the one set at the Japanese internment camps during World War II. And not nearly the acclaim season 1 had. It definitely wasn't as good. But it was strange. The first episode or two, I was really into it. The setting was interesting from a historical perspective. The ghost was super creepy. It's sort of this kind of a Japanese folk tale of these ghosts that, you know, attach themselves to a family, and you're kind of cursed. And it's about fathers and sons and ancestors and all this stuff. So setting all that up was really interesting. And then they didn't know really what to do for the middle, like 6 episodes. It was just kind of, oh, here's a gruesome murder. It didn't really have, I didn't get the rules. You know, the ghost would show up and then like it would kill someone and not kill someone. Like, I didn't know what the ghost wanted. So I didn't know what
I hate that.
Yeah, that kind of thing. And there was no real good metaphor for it. Because, okay, here's a show set at a Japanese internment camp that premiered just as all the stuff with the Mexico border was in the news. So it, you know, America was ready for this discussion, and then and it's like, what's the metaphor? We're haunted by the past or sins of the father. Like, it didn't. The ghost, you know, ghost should mean something, and it just, I never quite got what they were trying to do.
What network was this on?
AMC.
Okay.
So I has almost checked out by the end. Like, okay, I want to know what happens, but it had really lost me. And then, like, the last 2 episodes were terrific. So it started strong and it ended amazing, but the middle, there were at least 6 hours that you could have just cut out because it was not good. But I don't know, the ending pulled it off so well. This is one that had C. Thomas Howell, one of my guys. He was awesome as a prison guard. He was great. I've never called C. Thomas Howell's performance in anything great, and this was great.
You bring him up all the time. I can't, if I ever forget to say Soul Man, I want to kill myself after.
To me, he's from Red Dawn, but that's the important thing. We got George Takei as kind of the older generation who remembers the Japanese homeland and all this stuff. And we even got an oh my from him before the end of it. And I don't know, by the end, the war's drug on forever. These people have been in these camps. They're not being tortured, but it's like, their homes have been taken from them, their possessions, they're just, treated like cattle, basically. And everyone's ready for the war to be over. And we get this scene of like, oh, we've heard Hiroshima happened. And the American soldiers are like, it's almost, and like, that's how we as Americans, like, yeah, Hiroshima, we turned the tide of the war, it's almost over. And then it like skewed, like, wait, what was the Japanese response when they're hearing this for the first time? And I don't know that I'd ever even thought of that. What would be an American citizen of Japanese descent? How would you view Hiroshima? So that was an interesting perspective. And then, like I said, the themes, it's all about memory and the past and ancestry. And then the show ends. It's not a spoiler, but it's just a technical thing. As the credits are rolling, each member of the cast and crew, it showed a photo of one of their ancestors. And then it would list what camp they were in or where they served. Because Japanese people also served in the military if you weren't in a camp. So, like, it was showing, the director, all these cast members, and then it ends with a picture of George Takei as, a 4-year-old. So it's like, it's showing it's not that far in the past, and it has ties. Everyone in this cast has a tie to someone back then. So it ended in the most powerful way possible. So I don't know if I can recommend it in good faith, but I'm glad I stuck with it because the ending certainly saved it for me.
Yeah, that's cool. Very cool.
So, any more?
That's it for me.
Okay.
Save Martha! Puny God.
I'm just a kid from Brooklyn. I'm Batman.
Kneel before Zod! On the roof!
Said it yourself, bitch. We're the Guardians of the Galaxy.
So what's it gonna be, huh? Long sullen silence? Or mean comment? Go on.
You got me in a box here.
Anybody watching any movies? Nope.
Nope.
I guess
Just
not.
on Disney Plus.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
And we kind of, we talked
Computer
about that
wore
last
tennis
time.
shoes.
The Love Bug. We watched The Love Bug the other night. That was pretty entertaining. 1969. Buddy Hackett.
Yeah.
And Dean Jones. Pretty. It was better than I thought it was going to be. So
have to be.
Yeah.
I watched Bad Times at the El Royale.
My wife watched that.
Oh,
She
that's
said it
pretty
was
good.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It kind of loses the thread when Chris Hemsworth starts giving some speech, and I was like, "What's happening?" It was good till this.
I didn't expect anything because the trailer.
What's the girl? Whoever the girl is that sings is phenomenal.
She, to me, rescues it again at the very end.
Yeah.
Where she stops playing their game and just
Yeah.
basically says we're done. So yeah,
She's incredible. It's a pretty good, surprisingly good movie.
I didn't expect a whole lot from the
Yeah.
trailer. I think that's the one I said reminded me of one of those post Pulp Fiction movies from 1996 that everyone was trying to be this cool hit movie.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
And it actually ended up being pretty good.
I saw Parasite. I went to Columbus to see Bong Joon-ho's movie this year.
That's sort of the top of a lot of people's lists.
Yeah, it's way up there. It's great. It's really good. It will be high on my list for this year. It's about a family that, of course, it was full of subtitles. I love that stuff, But they take a peculiar interest in the wealthy and glamorous Parks family for their livelihood and get entangled in an unexpected incident. It's basically they're living kind of in squalor. They don't really have any money. It's two different families of a mom and dad and a boy and a girl, and they kind of infiltrate that rich family who lives far up in the nice house, and so much symbolism and things throughout, and it's pretty incredible. I really liked it. Another movie I saw was Ford versus Ferrari, which I assume most people have seen the previews for that. Matt Damon as Carroll Shelby, and Christian Bale as Ken Miles, the driver. It's a true story of a 24-hour Le Mans when Ferrari dominated it, and Carroll Shelby, used to drive, but he ended up, was designing cars, came up with the Shelby Cobra and so on, GT40. This is about them creating a car for Ford. Ford wanted to throw a bunch of money at it and try to beat Ferrari, get a little rep trying to win the 24-hour Le Mans.
We're gonna bury Ferrari at Le Mans. So the great Carroll Shelby is gonna build a car to beat Ferrari with a Ford. Correct. And how long did you tell them you needed? 200 or 300 years? 90 days. Ford hates guys like us because we're different.
Well, we heard he's difficult.
Ken? No, Ken's a puppy dog.
It's awful. If there's a problem, the computer will find it.
Get some Scotch tape and a ball of wool.
What are they doing?
Making your car faster.
And dads across America will love it. I had a Mustang. I mean, it's favorite car I ever had, so I knew I was gonna love all that stuff. And I love GT40, and I love Shelby's. Shelby Daytona is probably one of my favorite cars. But it's like a mile wide and an inch deep. It is all the notable things that happened in this true story without any of how or why it happened. And I guess I'm so used to watching documentaries where you get all the cool information. This is like, I mean, in the previews, they fight on the lawn while the wife or whatever comes out and watches them. And, it's like, puke. It really is what I thought. And what's amusing about it is Christian Bale famously will transform himself for roles. He recently put out an article that he was interviewed. He was not going to do that anymore. He's basically his body's telling him that's enough of that. You're going to kill yourself.
That's when he turned himself into a car.
Yeah, it became
his most transformative role yet.
No,
Turbo Teen.
No, but he did become Ken Miles, and when you see like any of these movies at the end, they show the real people. He had become this guy. And Matt Damon had put a hat on. Nick literally said, "You guys should start a segment on the podcast called Hat Damon." And like that's all the transformation that he's willing to do for a role, which he looked nothing like Carol Shelby. But whatever, it's still fun. I mean, the majority of everyone is loving this movie. So
the trailers may look like the racing.
It's great. It is great.
Like the effects and
my only complaints are what I said. It just doesn't do anything beyond that. Tracy Letts plays Henry Ford 2. He's probably the best part of the movie in this one scene. Like, he's great. I wouldn't want to spoil it for anybody, honestly, because it's the best scene in the movie. He's really good if anything he's in, but it was really good. And I thought you were thinking, what if were we going to do one job? And I thought, hey, I just watched Ford vs Ferrari. Let's try some Christian Bale.
One job forever?
Look, I have one job on this lousy ship. It's stupid, but I'm gonna do it, okay?
You tossers! You had one job to do!
I do want to add that the closing credits they played Polk Salad Annie, which I love because it's so ridiculous. You remember this?
Got your granny.
Exactly. Gator got your granny is a great line. Anyway, so yeah, you should.
Yeah,
see
so
it.
Christian Bale, decades of. Said throwing himself that method,
fat skinny,
yeah, transforming into these characters, and won or at least nominated for a bunch of Oscars. And
yes.
So surely there's tons to choose from here.
Yeah, surely
it's going to be a tough choice.
Quit calling me Shirley. So let's see. I'll go up through the list here. A bunch of stuff. I suggested just on a whim. You asked. I threw his name out. I thought surely there's something that I'm attached to. That is, I think it's the greatest thing ever. I always liked him. I think he's one of the great actors working today. And then I looked at the list and I was like, it's not on there. There's not like this movie that I think is one of my favorite movies. And I thought he was fantabulous. So, of course, he was Batman. He was Batman. Just the fake voice. No, I can't pick that. Sorry. Rescue Dawn, I never saw. Reign of Fire, him and Matthew McConaughey.
It was a fun movie.
Yeah, he was good in that. But we probably can't pick that. Out of the Furnace was good. That was a good movie.
He was very good in that.
Yeah.
Sounded just like a Pittsburgh.
Yinzer.
His Pittsburghese was spot on.
We're probably not allowed to pick anything associated with Pittsburgh. Yeah. Empire of the Sun, famously one of his early things. I never saw it. Sorry. Hostiles, I didn't see. Was like a Civil War movie recently. 3:10 to Yuma. I don't remember loving that remake. Terminator Salvation, he was in.
Yeah, he was. Not only is he Bruce Wayne, he's John Connor as well, that we've all kind of forgotten.
Public Enemies with Johnny Depp, he was in.
A gangster movie?
Yeah, I think so.
The Machinist is the one that he is noted for being sickly skinny in. I remember it saying he ate tuna and apple every day. And that's it. Just would lose all this weight. It was gross. Pocahontas? What was he in Pocahontas? The
Why
cartoon.
are you looking at me?
I'm asking you like you should know this. You're an expert on Christian Bale. He played Thomas. He was the voice of Thomas. American Hustle. He got super fat. Wore a hairpiece. There's a scene where he glues hair on his head. That was good. I thought.
Yeah, I really like that movie.
Yeah, I thought that was good.
I generally don't like the David O. Russell movies as much as everyone else on the planet, but yeah, that's the standout from those movies.
I like it. I like that movie. Big Short. Let's see. All the Batmans. Getting up here to the nitty gritty. We got Vice. I saw last year. He played Dick Cheney, and he was great.
I need permission for them to land at a Canadian airport.
Flying over Pennsylvania, of course. And 3 other planes are unaccounted for.
I'm seeing 5 planes unaccounted for. No, scratch that. I'm seeing 4. I've done 3 international airlines.
I have no right on the line.
That is correct. Yes, that is correct. Mr. Vice President, POTUS on line 1, sir.
Mr. President, the situation is extremely fluid. I strongly recommend you stay in the air. I have sequestered congressional leadership. Okay, then.
Sir, Don Rumsfeld is at the Pentagon on line 3.
That.
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir.
Dick, are there still passenger planes in the air? I need rules of engagement.
Oh, let's get the president back online, sir.
You have authorization to shoot down any aircraft deemed a threat.
Presidential authority?
That is correct. All orders are Unidir.
Unidir, sir? Unless otherwise directed.
Like, that's the first thing I thought of, honestly. I couldn't see myself picking it, but I thought, wow, I'm really thinking of that because he did a great Dick Cheney. The Prestige is the movie on this list that I like the most. Of all of his movies, I like, it's in my top 100. It's probably the only one of his in my top 100, but not really because of some great performance by Christian Bale. So I don't see how I could really pick that. The other one, well, the other couple we haven't mentioned, The Fighter, he was Dickie. He was scrawny, and wasn't he nominated or won an Oscar? Possibly.
I think he won supporting actor.
Yeah.
Where'd you park the car, boo-boo?
I didn't park it. You didn't.
Huh?
I didn't park it.
Check pockets for the keys. You got the keys, huh?
Well, I didn't park it, man. Down there?
Check your pockets, right?
Fucking
Oh, it. I'll run. I need road work.
Road work? Are you crazy?
He's a great runner.
He was really good in that. Dickie Eklund. I thought he was good in that. Nick, my son, just a couple weeks ago watched American Psycho for the first time. He was like, I remember he only watched half of it and then had to go to work. He's like, I'm really liking this. And he watched the second half. He's like, hey, kind of pulled the rug out from under me at the end, but he liked it. I thought he was good in that. He was, he's most, I won't say he's known most for that, but as a singular role where he is the star, early in his career, that's probably one of the most well-known roles for him. And I like it. What did the Facebooks say?
Yeah, we threw it out to the patrons, which you could also join if you patron us $1 a month. You get access to a secret Facebook page.
Just think of all the stuff
where we post things that the world does not see.
That's right.
One of those things
for our eyes only.
Our eyes only.
Yes.
This one
we're going to tell you what was on it.
Right. This is the only public thing, the polls that we do. So we threw it up there yesterday asking for the vote. We had 1 vote for Batman.
What the hell are you? I'm Batman. Nice go.
Justin voted for Batman, and
Yeah,
his
I
comment
think because it gets all the movies. You get all.
Yeah,
the
you get
movies
all
on it,
three,
yeah.
right? He left a comment about us leaving Swing Kids off the vote.
Yeah, I'd forgotten all about that movie. And then when he said that, I was like, oh, yeah, I like that movie.
Where you dance the Nazis away. He said.
Oh, I forgot. Wasn't he in
Newsies?
Newsies as well. I did have that one on the list. So, yeah, he's been in 50 movies. I put 10 in the poll. We can't list all of them. Sorry.
You probably screwed it up.
Yeah. We had Jesse voted for Batman. Or no, wait, what did I say?
Yeah, you got that mixed up. I think Justin voted for American Psycho.
Yes, Justin voted American Psycho. Jesse voted Batman and said he had not really seen a whole lot of these, so he was leaving it up to us. But
yeah, which hey, I appreciate a comment like that.
So we did not have 100% turnout of the vote.
Right. We put it up kind of late too, though.
So it's tough.
Not everybody saw it.
It's like America, not everybody votes, but one vote could have made the difference.
Yeah,
but
right.
So it's up to us, I guess.
Yeah. Obviously, Batman is his.
Yeah.
George Clooney said, "On my grave, it'll be Oscar winner, Batman, George Clooney." That's you're Batman forever.
Nipples.
So so he is Batman, but literally anyone could have been Batman in those movies. And
anybody.
I don't know that it would have been better or worse.
Talked in that voice.
Yeah. He's not even he was nowhere near our best Batman on our Batman list.
No. I like him as Bruce Wayne. I think he does a pretty good job of that out of the suit. He's one of the better Bruce Waynes. In the suit, that voice is just so hard to get over.
It's awful.
Terrible.
That's the only problem I have with him as Batman, is that choice that they did that.
I've never been much of a fan of his, period. I don't know what it is about him. He just comes off as, even watching some of his movies, I'm just like, I would not like that guy.
You don't want to hang out with him.
Right, exactly.
I get that. He seems like he's trying so hard. Like you said, just put on a hat.
Yeah.
Like you don't have to try this hard.
I guess there's got to be a happy medium. He tries really hard. Yeah.
Are you leaning any way?
I only wrote down one thing. I kind of knew my pick coming into this.
What is it?
American Hustle.
American Hustle. I like that pick.
I really like that movie as a whole. But I think he's excellent in it. I mean, he does his shtick where he put on a ton of weight.
Yeah.
And he's glues the wig on and all that stuff.
That's a big scene. Yeah.
He's not too far from Tom Cruise in Tropic Thunder.
Yeah.
Yeah, kind of that same look, right? Yeah. But I don't know. It was a very 1970s believability to it for me. Like, I believe, this guy could have grown up and had some dry cleaning businesses, and he was a shady guy and running hustle on the side and ripping a bunch of people off. And that's it for me. That's one of the very few movies of his. I mean, Batman's fine, but I don't like those movies because of him. I like American Hustle partly because of him. I don't like American Psycho. It's just, no.
That's not your type of movie. I would never guess you would pick that. Don't worry.
No. I think I've seen Newsies one time when I was a kid.
That's more up your alley.
It is, but I'm not that familiar with it.
I've never seen it. Oh.
Yeah, like you said, I thought coming into this, there's got to be that one thing.
I know. I hate it too. I hate that.
He's such a good character actor.
Yeah.
That he maybe shouldn't be a movie star. He should be, a character in these other movies. Like, it'll be cool when he gets old and he's playing, cool older characters.
Be more memorable.
Yeah. So I don't know that he's ever carried a movie for me. Although I love The Prestige. I was going to mention that to Jesse. Says he had not really seen any of these movies. I think Jesse would like The Prestige a lot.
Oh, definitely.
Dueling Magicians. We had Hugh Jackman as one, and so we have Batman versus Wolverine as Dueling Magicians, and things.
That's a good way to sell it.
Things escalate from there, but there's some behind the scenes things. Flavor I think would really get Jesse's excited.
It's a real street level magician movie.
Then the Punisher shows up.
So I could pick The Prestige because the movie's so great, but I'm having a hard time remembering his standout scene or whatever.
Pulls a coin out.
Yeah,
and says,
I guess.
And foreshadows.
And American Psycho, I think, is probably that one's going to be one of the top.
Yeah.
But I don't know that I ever rewatched it. I watched it once.
I never did.
Okay, that was a quality.
I never
film,
did.
but
That's what I think of when I think of him. But I've only seen it one time.
Have you seen Swing Kids?
No. I have not.
No.
I watched that a lot when, I remember it being on HBO or something a lot when I was young, and I watched that movie. It was a good movie. I did. I enjoyed that.
Yeah.
So no one has a real definitive.
Yeah, I don't. I love, like I said, Prestige. If we were voting movies, I don't really like to mess up. I mean, because the way we do this is all the other movies go away. They weren't in those movies. It's like, well, am I going to lose the Prestige over this? I think somebody else could play that role, though.
We got to come up with an answer.
Yeah. We can come up with something. I guess I would lean towards Vice.
Oh no.
But listen, but I'm willing to forego that because I like American Hustle. I would back up American Hustle.
You're gonna do this because you got no choice. You work for me.
You keep changing the rules. You're getting a little power drunk. Richard, you want to tell him anything? You want to wake him up?
Oh, no, I said we shouldn't do any of it, Irving. I said that. So now I support Richie. He's got vision. Do it heavy or don't do it.
What does that mean? I mean, he's the one ruining America, not me.
How the f*** am I ruining America?
Because people just got over Watergate and Vietnam, all right? And you're going to shit all over politicians again? Just because you want to be a big shot, get a promotion.
No, I'm thinking big. All right, this is going to be fantastic. We're doing video surveillance. I'm doing this from the feet up.
You will never do it properly because you got too much government attitude to be small and sleek. I'm like the Viet Cong, man, all right? I'm in and I'm out. I was there the whole time. You don't know it, all right? That's the art of becoming somebody who people can pin their beliefs.
That was a movie that I normally wouldn't see. Go to the theater and watch it. But for some reason we did. I think we had heard some hype on it.
Yeah. There's a lot of people in it.
And yeah, Amy Adams was great, and
freaking Jennifer Lawrence is good in that.
Yeah.
Man, when she's all yelling at the microwave about science and stuff. That was a good. Yeah. It's a good movie.
It's got some star Jeremy Renner's in it, and
Robert De Niro.
Yeah, and he's got basically one scene.
Yeah,
but they paid him a ton
Bradley Cooper
of money.
Louis C.K. is really funny in it.
Yeah, and I can't think of his name. Luis from
Michael Pena.
Yeah, Michael Pena. He's
Shea
really
Wiggum. Yeah. There's a ton of people in it.
Yeah, it was a really good movie. I remember coming out of the theater with that and really being impressed because that's not a movie I would normally see it, and a lot of times that doesn't end well for me, but I loved it. I thought the whole thing was great. Just attention to detail in that era, and I like his clothes and just the way he carried himself. Yeah, that's it for me.
That's a little odd to define that him being a schlubby, balding fat guy as his defining role, but I wouldn't vote.
That's what he does.
It. Yeah.
That's what he does.
So I think Batman is his most mainstream famous thing. Yeah. American Psycho is probably his legacy,
right?
But for Ka-Pow, I don't.
Ka-Pow, either of them totally different. We're in a different world now, people. So
I'll say Prestige.
Just to mess with me now.
You guys, I thought it was decided.
Yeah, I know. That's what you think you're doing, Cliff. Now I could make a switcheroo at the last second. No, I can't do that. He doesn't do anything really in that movie. So in the annals of Ka-Pow history, the only thing Christian Bale ever did was play Irving Rosenfeld in American Hustle, I want to say around 2013.
I am running his beat. You gotta listen to him. He's the guy with the vision.
I got the vision? You know what vision I had? You just kissing my girl right outside. That's what vision I had.
I thought you guys broke up. I'm giving you a compliment. But don't worry about it, all right?
You got a knife. Yeah. All right, this is for the man. You got to present it to the man. Just look at me, all right? Look me in the eye. This means a lot to you, right? That knife. Oh.
Play it, you present it, all right? Friendship for life, all right? You gotta feel it.
Right.
Sacred, can you do it?
Sacred.
You gotta sell it.
Sacred.
You gotta sell it.
Sell it.
If you believe it's sacred,
Right.
it's sacred.
Listen to
all
what
right?
he's saying. That's
You
the
do it?
details. That's what makes this guy a genius.
Again? You compliment me again. What is this? Rubbing salt in the wound? What are you?
I'm complimenting you. You got any other questions?
Yeah, I think the name of this operation is offensive. What, Ab scam? Arab scam? It's racist.
What do you care? You're Mexican.
2013, David O. Russell. Good stuff.
I would not have assumed that coming in, but makes as much sense as anything.
You never know.
Yep.
And thank you, patrons, for taking the time to vote and comment for us.
That's right.
Even though that's 2 in a row, your votes have meant nothing.
One of these days, though, it's going to count.
Yeah,
I
you're going to be the deciding factor.
I swear it.
There's something very important I forgot to tell you.
What?
Don't cross the streams.
Islands in the stream, that is what we are.
The streams.
So we talked Disney Plus recently on an episode, so we're going to do all the streaming that's not Disney.
That we care to.
Yeah. Guys, while everyone else on the planet was Disneyed up, I figured out what a Roku is.
That's awesome. Yeah, about time.
I bought a TV, I want to say it's like 6 years ago, 5-6 years ago. Yeah. I hadn't had a new TV since literally college. The TV I took to college to my dorm room was a big console thing. It was huge. It weighed 700 pounds. And I finally got a flat screen. And it came with a Roku attachment. I was like, I don't know what that is. So I'd never used it. I didn't even have internet till a couple of years ago. So I get internet at my house. I have Wi-Fi. I'm like, didn't that TV have some kind of highfalutin button on it? So I click the Roku button. It's like, oh, connect to your internet. And I type in the password, and it will not connect. I'm like, I have Wi-Fi. What's happening? I tried a couple times, turned it off, tried it later. It never would connect, so I just forgot about it. So just a couple weeks ago, I'm like, I never did try that again. I click on it. It connected immediately. So I'm like, oh, okay. Let me figure out what this is. So this is part of my problem having these streaming services, HBO Go and all this stuff. I don't like watching them on my computer.
Right.
And I never watch anything on my phone. I know this is, first world problems out the yin yang, but it's laptop screen. I can never get the right angle. It's not comfortable. I just prefer to watch it on my TV. So like every technologically advanced human, I now can watch all this stuff on my TV. So I'm going to feel like watching so much more stuff.
So you had to do this probably for Disney Plus.
Well, I can't. It won't show up on there.
Oh, okay.
When I go to the Roku website, it shows
the
I
streaming
click.
channel.
It shows install, but when I turn on my computer, it's not, or TV. I don't even know what they are anymore. It's one big computer to me. But yeah, it's not on there, so I don't know if the Roku's too old. It's not supported. There's some kinds of Roku that Disney is not on, so I'm assuming I have one of those.
Wow.
But I had YouTube and HBO on there.
Before we started recording tonight, we started a little later because we were enraptured watching the new season of The Toys That Made Us. As these guys came over, we were watching the the wrestling toys action figure episode with
Jewish Lightning.
The Lightning guy. And those episodes are all edited the same some weird crazy person that drives me crazy. They just keep playing the same clips over and over and over.
Yeah, Jewish Lightning.
Over and over and over. And that guy's shirt was so filthy.
It looked like he'd been eating like a whole sleeve of crackers. And they left him half of them on his chest.
The last second he shaved and got
it kind of
beard all over him. I don't know, but
I think production design would have a lint roller somewhere.
Right.
They touch up his makeup, lint roll the shirt.
If you notice too, I mean, he knows what he's going to be on. You think you would be presentable, but he's got a t-shirt on and like what looks like Walmart basketball shorts. And I was just like, and then you get a closer look and whatever mess is on the front of him, I'm just like, oh my god, could somebody not tell him?
All right, so this season was the wrestling toys, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
My Little Pony?
I don't know what the other two are.
And Power Rangers, I think.
Yes.
Yeah, I've only seen this episode. I started watching Ninja Turtles when Cliff walked in, but he hadn't seen it yet, so I switched to the one he had kind of looked at.
Yeah.
I'm going to catch up, definitely. I'll watch the Ninja Turtle ones for sure.
It's a show I've watched all the other seasons. I've enjoyed some of the episodes.
Yeah, I have not watched all of them. I only watched the ones I'm interested in. But it's good, except I hate the editor.
I realized we never talked to El Camino.
Oh, we didn't.
Yeah,
we didn't.
That was a big deal, wasn't it?
That was a big deal. That was this was the prologue to, or not prologue, the epilogue to Breaking Bad,
which is your number one
show of all time.
So when Better Call Saul came out, I remember feeling, do we really need to revisit this? And loving it.
Yeah, apparently.
So when this came out, I thought, do we need more Jesse? And I thought, well, they did it once with Saul, so let them do it.
I would say both of those creations are unnecessary and great. You don't need them, but they take nothing away from the show. And I mean, Better Call Saul is beyond. I'm so glad they have that. And this was really good. I really enjoyed it. It was a nice. It was kind of comforting to see what could be, with Jesse.
It was a little bit slower paced. It wasn't like action. But yeah, I said it's anything in that universe is going to be interesting to watch. And we had Robert Forster, one of his final performances.
Right.
Great scene there in his vacuum cleaner shop.
It's totally it just to get to have Vince Gilligan again writing that show, creating problems for people to get themselves out of. It's just like putting someone in a major, puzzle problem and watching them figure out how to get out of it. That's all. I love all that stuff.
So that one is on Netflix now, and I read they're going to air it on AMC at some point. I assume it won't be for a while, but they will air it on the network it was created.
There's like a making of or something that's like a 15-minute thing. I haven't watched it on there about it, but yeah, it was delightful. Only thing that took me out of it was what's his name from Friday Night Lights, Jesse Plemons.
Oh,
it's a bit of a different shape and size than he was.
Yeah, it's a flashback, but yeah.
Anyway,
and we also had the guy from Righteous Gemstones. That guy's having a year.
Oh yeah, he is. This is it. This is his moment in the sun. Yeah, that was good. So we all caught up on Cobra Kai?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. We've all watched the first 2 seasons of Cobra Kai.
Then you need to get your ass over to Cobra Kai.
Tweak the leg.
You're lucky I'm showing mercy.
Tweak the leg.
Just like a cobra, I had to shed my loser skin to find my true power.
Tweak the leg.
Hot summer streets and the pavements are burning. I sit
Cobra Kai is about strength. If you're not strong on the inside, you can't be strong on the outside.
Trying to smile, but the air is so heavy and
just make sure the Cobra Kai snake comes in at the end, all right? I want it to really pop. Make it chrome.
It's a cruel
body bag! Yeah!
Tweak the leg. Tweak the leg.
Welcome to Cobra Kai. All that matters is that you become badass.
Tweak the leg.
Oh, Put one of those hash browns at the end, you know, like hash brown team Cobra Kai or something. And then send it to the internet!
Speaking of unnecessary but amazing, we've all watched. There's 2 seasons of Cobra Kai now.
Yeah,
and it was behind a paywall, so the whole second season is out as we record this, free. And I had to look it up because I swore they were doing away with that. But YouTube Red is now YouTube Premium.
Correct.
It is $11.99 a month. You get ad-free. You can download stuff. There's a whole music thing you can listen to. It's basically a replacement, music streaming service, and a bunch of other nonsense no one will use. But it says the originals are going to be free to watch starting in 2020, and they're also probably going to have their budgets cut a lot because they're going to be free now.
Yeah.
So expect fewer original shows and probably fewer episodes or smaller scale on some of this stuff. But I think Cobra Kai is their flagship thing. It's the only thing.
Hopefully they throw all their money at that. Yeah. I just the reason they will even continue the premium thing or whatever is, like you said, a lot of people do get that just to be able to listen to things on YouTube or whatever without having to have it your phone with the screen on and things. So that's good. I mean,
it's got the background.
It's pretty nice.
I think I tell them I don't want that service 10 times every single day.
Skip trials.
I'm so tired of hitting that and it popping up on every video I play. But
life is hard. This show,
oh my gosh,
is ridiculous.
So Cliff, you hadn't watched any of it?
No, I had watched.
Or you had watched?
Yeah, I got through most of season 1 when it
okay.
originally had come through, and then I was like, well, I gotta watch it, and then I forgot how much I liked it. I am not. I had said this before with season 1. I wasn't a huge Karate Kid fan. I didn't really care for that movie.
It's from 1984. That's your year, man.
It's in both our top 10s.
But the thing, I just didn't. I don't like.
It's from his year. That year's packed for him.
Yeah,
he's busy.
It was a big year. But I just never liked the Daniel LaRusso character. That's what it comes down to. I just never liked him.
Yeah, me neither.
Did Johnny.
I love the movie, but Daniel is terrible.
Yeah. So, but this I love. I need Johnny Lawrence in my life.
Well, I will say that he's the best part of the show.
Yeah.
I really like the show. I really do. And there was the first half of this season, even a little further, was great. I loved all of that. I thought it was a little weaker towards the end of the season, but
the last episode blew me. I was like,
"That's a good episode."
It just sat there in amazement.
Yeah, it was something. I didn't like the couple episodes before it. I don't like the kids, and that's the whole show.
I want to go even further than you, and I only care about when Johnny's on screen.
Yeah,
I don't care about any of the kids. I still love the show. That's how much I love this show. Is I don't care about 60% of it.
Well, right.
Yeah.
Daniel. Okay, it's neat to see. Oh, he has a car dealership. That's interesting. He's got a kid. He's dealing with stuff. Okay, I don't care.
Right,
I don't care about his wife. I don't care about their marital problems.
Wow.
I don't care about his daughter. I don't care about her boyfriend.
Can you get all this out of context?
Yeah. It's not interesting to me. Johnny is interesting.
Yeah.
Kreese comes back. Yes.
Right.
After a while, okay, we get it.
Yeah.
You're John Kreese.
Yeah,
You're mean.
Go away.
Ooh,
Yeah,
scary.
go away. But there are a few of the kids in the Cobra Kai dojo that, like Peyton List. When she came in, I was like, holy crap! They got Peyton List to be one of the kids.
Yeah, we're supposed to know that this is some Disney girl, right?
She was a big star on the Disney Channel.
There would literally be scenes. One of the 3 girls on the show would walk in, and I didn't know who they were. I can't tell them apart. They changed the hairstyle. Yeah. The hair's up or down. I'm like, which one is that? I don't even know which one that is.
She was the tough girl that dates Miguel. Yeah. Okay. So I thought she was really good.
Can't hold her liquor.
No, definitely not. I wrote down Hawk is the worst.
Yep.
Dimitri is worser. And why isn't Stingray the star student, i.e. Kramer and Dwight Schrute?
Yeah.
That's all you need to know.
We're all the same skill level.
Yeah. Yes. Agree with that stuff. I think like a lot of the kids are fine, but some of them are terrible actors.
Yeah.
And I just don't. I mean, I know that's what the whole show's about. Is the problem is those kids?
And I get it. That's what. It's the next generation.
It's a lot cheaper to have.
Yeah,
them.
you have to do that. I get it, but it doesn't. That's not.
But all the Johnny stuff is way better.
I could have sat through 3 episodes of him just discovering the internet.
Yeah,
just that.
Yeah.
3 hours, Johnny looking stuff up on the internet, and I've been like, "This is gold."
Right.
I love this.
Actually, the moment that spoke to me the most out of the whole series is when they go eat at the Mexican restaurant and that girl doesn't write down the order, and I was like, that's right. I say that every time that happens, I say to everybody at the table, she's gonna mess something up. Because I just hate that. I freaking hate this obnoxious people. The worst ones are the ones that sit down with you and don't write down the order. Get out of my seat. I don't know you, cretin.
I saw yesterday that they've already finished filming season 3.
No way.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
I did not.
Done. It's a wrap. So
don't throw the lingo at me.
I made a note. Are we going to see Elizabeth Shue?
Well,
in season 3,
hinted there. We're spoiling this, by the way. It was hinted at, right? That
she accepted his Facebook request at the very end. So
yeah. I like when he told her that he had this something called Facebook
on his smartphone.
Yeah, it's an Ericsson.
Yeah, so crazy.
Yeah. My hope was for season 3 to be Terry Silver.
Yes, that's what I want.
Karate's bad boy Mike Barnes.
Oh, okay.
Who?
Karate's bad boy Mike Barnes.
Now, which person's that?
From Karate Kid 3. He's
he was Cobra
Kai.
Oh,
bully.
Just the He was.
You got to sign the form, Danny. You got to fight in the tournament.
Yeah, but I love.
I'm gonna break your bonsai.
Yeah, great.
Yeah, that was. I wrote that down too when Daniel admits he was once part of Cobra Kai. I had kind of forgotten Karate Kid 3.
Yeah. Punch in the wood.
And he's like, "That's not something I'm proud of, Sam." I was like, "You can be proud. It's a pretty good movie. It's not that bad."
Yeah, I like it.
And I also very much like. The kid goes to the comic book store and he complains about continuity and bringing dead characters back to life. Like, have some continuity.
Best episode really was the most touching. Like, I teared up. We got I was like episode 6 or something. I watched it a few months ago because I watched like the first few episodes and then I had to wait weekly. But the one about the guy dying.
Yeah, where Johnny reunites with some of his old Cobra Kai buddies because the one Tommy, the one guy has in the show, he has cancer.
Yeah,
and had just passed away in real life,
right?
Just a few weeks ago.
Yeah,
that was amazing timing. Like where you said maybe it's possible that they held this episode. Thinking something like that was going to happen, but
yeah. Well, I mean, in the original, he was the guy that said, "Put him in a body bag, Johnny," and then they actually put him in a body bag, and I was like, "Oh, that's bad taste."
Yeah. But I loved all that stuff of he was the bully, Johnny was the bad guy, he was the rich kid, and how many movies have that character, and we never learn what happens after that. Even if the good guy wins the girl, okay. Well, yeah, like you can look back on that, and he has regrets, and he wishes he could have done things differently. And we see it from his point of view. He still thinks that was an illegal kick. He'll never let it go. Like, that's fascinating to me to have a character we've known for 30 years, and we can look like we know exactly who Johnny is. We know the red jacket, the motorcycle. We know all of that. But now we're getting these new layers. And I think William Zabka is a pretty good actor for not having much of a career since the 80s.
Well, yeah, I was actually, I said something similar to my kids. I was like, he was in a lot of 80s movies. He wasn't a huge star, but he played, in a lot of parts and a lot of very known movies. So
yeah, I think he's the strongest actor on the show, and for sure by a mile the most interesting character.
Yeah,
and it again we have to focus on the kids, and they did it. I think a good deal focusing on the females. Oh, it's Daniel's daughter. Okay, there's a whole different. You know, the '80s it was the male bully, and the male bullier and bullyee. And like, okay, now we're looking at the female perspective. But what do they fight over? Boys. It's like, we were almost woke. We were so close to being woke, and then we missed it right at the end. So they're fighting over a boy, and it's like, that's terrible. And that final scene in the school, that's so beyond ridiculous. Like it went on. It was like a Family Guy joke. It went on for so long. It was like him fighting the chicken.
Yeah.
But it was also kind of satisfying. Like,
I loved it.
To me, it would have made more sense like for that to happen at the party, where things are kind of getting out of hand. It's like it's happening at school.
I loved it.
Like you're gonna have to expel all these people. This is horrifying.
Yeah. It was ridiculous.
Then he comes out as the security guard and started hip checking kids into the locker. It's like that's not illegal.
I love Stingray high fives. He takes a couple kids out. High fives the Cobra Kai kid.
Yeah, that guy. That was the guy from I, Tonya that said this guy's gonna be a star. You know, and this, he did this. You know, he's gonna be in that new Clint Eastwood movie about the Olympics. Jewell. Yeah. He's pretty good.
Yeah, so I binged it in 2 days. I really enjoyed it, got through it, and I'm ready for season 3 at this point.
Oh yeah, I'll watch it.
Yeah,
bring it on.
I also signed up for State Farm because
oh my gosh,
I saw 700 State Farm commercials. I just had.
I only saw one State Farm State Farm commercial. I just watched it 750 times. So, yeah. Anything else on Cobra Kai?
No, that should do it.
Get a little caught up on Titans on DC Universe. We are down to one episode left.
Harley Quinn's about to start, isn't it?
Yeah, Harley Quinn. That trailer's out, which I didn't even know what I was watching when I watched that. Like, it was not what I expected. But anyways, Titans. Last few episodes, just some plot points, spoiling it. We know Dick Grayson basically puts himself in jail because he feels all this guilt for letting the team down and them discovering the truth about Jericho and what happened, his death, and all that. So he helps a couple of other prisoners escape while he's in prison, gets thrown in the hole. Becomes very sick and has pretend conversations with Bruce Wayne. The guy that plays Bruce Wayne, I've talked about before. Yeah. He is channeling Adam West in the best way possible. He is excellent. I thought when they announced his casting, I was like, what are they doing? It was brilliant. He is so good. Pulls no punches. Anyways, Dick decides he's going to eventually get out of jail. He has to get out of there. Cadmus gets a hold. They raid the Titans Tower because the team has broken up and went off in various ways. Cadmus gets a hold of Superboy and Garfield Logan, Beast Boy, as they raid the tower trying to get, Superboy back into their clutches or whatever. So they get caught. They do brain surgery on Garfield to control him, and he
hate Mondays.
Yeah, he eats. He eats a barista at the coffee shop as a test. And because he can't control himself, Rose and Jason Todd go off on their own, and apparently they're a thing for a little bit. Hawk and Dove break up, the original Titans. This is the girl Dove, Dawn. And Hank, I wrote down Hank back on the hooch, because he's a drug addict and alcoholic. And he sells his Hawk suit after the breakup for some cocaine to a kid. who pretends to be Hawk in Instagram videos for a while.
Wow.
Dick confronts Deathstroke at Jericho's mother's home and realizes that Jericho, before Deathstroke killed him, spoilers, has transported himself into Deathstroke's body because that's his superpower, and he's in there stuck somewhere trying to communicate out with Dick. And then we find out Rose, who is the other child of Deathstroke, you know, comics 30 years, 40 years worth, is originally they set the Titans up by introducing her and that planning on her taking them in. So she's working for Deathstroke to take them out, but she has second thoughts.
So this is kind of that famous storyline.
It's Terra. Yeah.
What is
Judas Contract.
Judas Contract.
Yeah, it's basically that. Finale next Friday, where we finally get to see Nightwing's new suit.
Oh, I hope it has a big collar and a V-neck.
It does not. Oh. It's the new version, the big blue bird on the front and back.
Okay, I guess.
Yeah, not the cool circus costume. Yeah, finale next Friday, so I'll check that out. And that's all I got.
Cool. All right, so you can find us many places. We're on Facebook, where we do a lot of our fun posts.
Social media type stuff.
You can read and enjoy. We're on Twitter at the Ka-Pow Podcast.
Mm-hmm. And just anywhere where you can find the podcast. So Google Podcast, Google Play, Apple Podcast, Spotify, www.udownwithkpp.com, Podbean. You can, either way there, you can become a patron if you so choose to, and get all that great content we were talking about earlier, being Facebook, private Facebook page, doing polls, giving input, maybe write a song. We don't care. Whatever you want to do there. And Jordan will perform it. We'll see.
I hope so.
And then also there's some behind the scenes audio and stuff. Some special episodes, early access to other special episodes, all kinds of stuff going on.
We got
Patreon
stuff coming up for next year.
Oh, big plans. Big plans.
We got ideas. We got some ideas. And if you have ideas, please let us know. If there's something we're not covering, if there's a show you love, a movie you can't believe we haven't talked about, please let us know. If there's some Roku channel that I should be watching, let me know. I'm so overwhelmed with my choices now. I don't know what I'm missing.
We need to talk about this for a second. We forgot to talk about it on Disney Plus.
What's that?
We're going to handle this right now. You're saying movie. Avatar, I was thinking, is on the Disney Plus. The reason I thought made me think of the avatars you could have for your user profile.
Mm-hmm.
Who'd you pick?
Carl Fredrickson from Up.
Who the hell? Oh, is that Up?
The old man.
The grumpy guy.
Okay. Who'd you pick?
I was R2.
Oh. I was R5D4, I believe. But there's like no people.
Felt a little. There were a ton, but it also felt a little limited.
It was there. The reason being, I looked into this. They don't own facial rights, like people's actual faces, except for like Disney Channel people. Mm-hmm. So like there was you couldn't choose like Ray. Like there was no Ray,
but not Ray.
There was no Ray, but there's a Kylo because he's got a mask on.
Right.
Huh.
So. Because I actually was immediately looking for Ray. I was like, there's no Ray.
Mm-hmm.
And so that was why. That's why it looked really weird. I just wanted to say something.
Yeah.
Made me think of that.
Yeah, I think my wife chose Forky.
Forky? Okay.
Yeah, Forky. So I think Carly is Stitch. Cooper is Iron Man. And I think Bree is Disgust from Inside Out. Mm-hmm. That was a good movie. We watched that the other night too. So so that's, there you go.
Alrighty, we'll be back shortly with some more. My name is Jordan Lowe.
Cliff Barnes.
I'm Seth. Bye forever.
Ka-Pow, the pop culture podcast, is intended for entertainment and information purposes only. Sounds, music, and clips played during the podcast are property of copyright holders. All original content is property of www.udownwithkpp.com.
You know, in like the last couple months, I swear I've heard 3 different times on a show, different shows, someone will say goodbye forever.
Really?
Yes.
Sons of bitches.
Like they would just end, like an actor, you know, some character will say that.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just like, it seems so weird. I don't know. It's like a strange thing to say, especially every episode.
It's a terrible, dumb thing to say.
It's such a stupid thing to say.
I could literally come up with anything that would be better than that. What did we miss?
Oh, we have our order out of order, or what were we?
I thought this is the order.
Yeah. TV, movies,
streaming?
one job streaming.
Oh. Right.
I was like, what?
I
couldn't wait to find out.
5 minutes telling how I didn't ever doubt you. And I just doubted you.
It's like...
So, we are a little over an hour. Do we want to cut that one and then just do the streaming as another episode, or do you think we can
what all streaming do we have?
Cobra Kai.
I don't have a ton.
I have Cobra Kai and a teeny little bit on Titans is all.
Oh, we can fit it in here. Let's just not go on forever. Correct?
Oh.
Oh my god.
I forgot we even had it.